Hey guys, and welcome back to Jalen Says. And today we're with a very talented person. He DJs. He's a baker. He. Well, all right. So when I looked this guy up, I was like, all right, we're gonna have a cool DJ. He's been doing this for a long time. He's been a part of hip hop culture, and then I realized he does all this other stuff too. He's he's just really cool. He's just a really nice guy to talk to. So to I guess introduce himself further, Mr. DJ K Rock. How are you doing today, sir?
What's happening? What's happening, Jalen? What's happening?
Hey man,
Things
good
good
thing.
over here.
Yes, yes. So how are you doing today?
Hey, I made it through the day. You know, it's 101 degrees here where I'm at in Mobile, and I made it through the day. That's all. I'm trying to cool off. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yes. Yesterday I was gonna hear it was gonna be a high at 91, and I was like, wow, that's hot. But 101 degrees,
Yeah,
that's spicy.
yeah. That's hot.
Yeah. Yeah. So can you do a short bio for the audience
Short
to
bio is, DJ K Rock. I've been DJing since about 84. Yeah, you know. Um, Started DJing with MC Light from the very beginning, since about 86, 87, until, present time. Um, just basically love DJing, man. That's my hobby, man. That's what I do. I love to rock a crowd and get people going. And also I bake, you know, and y'all need to look out for, the bakery that I'm about to open up soon, hopefully. So, um, and other things, work for the post office, still doing that. Um, all around guy, you know what I mean? All around guy.
wow. So how did this all happen? How did this all get to this situation? How did it start?
Let's start it with Milk and Giz, they did the song Top Billin'. They called themselves the Audio 2. And I was real good friends with Milk and Giz, and basically they wanted to start a music career, and they talked to their pops, and their pops was like, all right, we're going to start First Priority Music. So, with that said, they started First Priority Music and built up their roster with different artists, like the Alliance and Positive K, Mishi Me, Barshaw, um, Kings of Swing. The list goes on. Of course, MC Light. And we just all got together and created and did what we had to do to be in the industry.
So how did you learn that you had this passion for DJing? How did you know you had a gift to do this?
Well, I used to watch my brother and my cousins. Uh, they used to be out there, Kevin and Darius and Kevin out there in Laurelton, Laurel Queen. I think it's Laurelton, Queens. Yeah. And I used to watch my cousins, and then, Milk, Giz, we all used to DJ. And, it just became a passion of, mixing and scratching, and listening to Grandmaster Flash, and just really saying, hey, I can do this. I can be the next fly DJ.
Yeah. So I heard that your first party you did was at an office party for your dad's job.
Oh yeah, I was scared. I was scared. I was scared. But luckily his co-workers, they worked with me, and some songs that I didn't have, we went out and got it before the actual time started, and it was very successful. And from that point on, I was like, hey, I gotta really, keep my ears to the ground and really listen to what's going on, so I can get the people going, rock the crowd. So from that point on, I had went to just about every record label, to get, vinyl and cassettes and CDs at the time, and just wanted to stay up to date. My collection was of vinyl was just, it was just incredible. I can't even tell you the amount. So you just figure, collecting music from '84 to now. Crates and crates and
Wow,
cabinets, files of my list is just goes on. It just goes on.
wow, that's
Yeah.
incredible. So, how was it seeing the transformation? Because you started off using vinyl, CDs, and then it switched all over to digital, where it's just well, it's I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's a lot different from what you had to do because you had to go to the shops. I'm guessing go to stores, get all your music and stuff like that.
Well, you got to understand this here. You know, every year they're coming out with something better than the last year. You understand what I'm saying? So we went from cassette tapes were actually reel to reels to cassette tapes to records, records, cassette tapes, then CDs, and now we're with digital controllers, downloading and streaming. Um, I do it all, but I still prefer that vinyl feel. So now they have something called Serato, where you can upload all your music or download all your music, excuse me, to your computer or your external drive, and you can use this program with still two turntables or controllers, or whatever you're using to play the music. So
Wow.
some people, they use the controllers, which are CDJs or something like that. Um, I still like to use the turntables. I still love that old school feel, you know. So, but I have the controllers, I have the CDJs. I have, what it takes. I stay with the time, because that's what you're going to have to do in this age, else you'll get left behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow. So, did you realize what you were getting into when you first started this off at your dad's work party?
Well, no, not necessarily. Um, I just know that, hey, I made them all get up and dance and have a good time. I said, I like that feeling. I like to see people get up and dance to what I'm playing to. I like to rock a crowd, you know what I mean? So basically, I said, I'm going to have to keep this going, keep this going. So I did some more office parties, and started doing block parties and weddings. And, it just got bigger and got bigger. And then when, Milk and Giz. I used to throw parties in my basement. You know what I mean? Everybody from the neighborhood was trying to get in. So I knew it was going to really take it to a higher place than what I started off from. And now look at it now. It's worldwide.
That. So, later in your journey to this, one of your neighbors came up with this beat. It was mostly of snare drums, I believe, and you guys turned it around and made something pretty cool out of it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Anything that we do in the studio, we're gonna take it and we're gonna enhance it and make it into something big. So definitely, I got a couple of more projects that I'm working on in the studio as we speak. A couple of artists that I'm dealing with, um, and basically, you look out for them in the near future, and look out for Rock Smooth Entertainment in the near future.
I at the beginning of your well, not the beginning, but at the start of your journey, audio to you, DJ K. Reich, and other of your collaborators founded First Priority Records. What started that?
Well, that started with Milk and Giz. They started with their father, First Priority Music. So that was a family, situation that like I said, they brought in different artists to be on the label, distributed by Atlantic. So basically, Milk and Giz, that's their baby. And Nat Robinson, was the pops that really started everything up. Yeah.
Wow. So, how was it when you first started collaborating with other artists and realizing, well, not realizing, but how was it when you first started collaborating with other artists and making your way through the DJ and music industry?
Well, it was a beautiful thing to actually collab with some people that's on the same craft as you. In this business, you get to meet all kinds of different, rappers, R&B artists, gospel artists, everybody. So it's really interesting to really meet people that are doing the same thing that you're doing, and that want to take it, or try and collab and take it to the next level.
Alright. So, what kept you in this career? What kept you moving on and moving forward with what you're doing?
Well, as far as music,
Yes.
music is my passion. It's in my blood, you know. So everything about music I love. I even, at one time I was installing car systems in cars. You know what I mean? Building, bass boxes for cars, customizing, boxes for cars. And I had learned my man Tony Tunes in California, and his uncle Hitman in Victorville. So anything pertaining to music, I do. I was going around out here redoing church sound. Because a lot of churches, don't have good sound in their church. So I had to go and readjust that, tell them what they needed to buy, do their whole sound system over. So, when I say music is in my blood, it's my passion, it's my hobby, anything pertaining to music, I do, production wise, um, even rapping, you know what I mean? I did. So, number 19 on Light's third album, K Rock's the man. So anything pertaining to music, I'm going to do, because it's what I love.
So when did you start learning that you could figure out how to change car stereos and work with more stuff with equipment and things in churches and stuff like that?
Well, the thing about it is you got to know how to wire. You got to know what you're doing. So I pretty much started that maybe when I was about 15 or 16 years old, you know, and uh, watching, my mentors teach me, and if I had a problem, I can call them and they can tell me what to do and how to do it. So I would have to say about 15, 16 years old is when I started, learning how to, wire, cars, and hooking up my own sound system, to do block parties and stuff like that. But it goes back a little further than that, 14 actually, because that's when I pretty much started, DJing. So, when you DJ, you gotta have your own sound system. And I remember when my parents, I told them, I said, look, hey, I want to DJ, and my parents believed enough in me to take me to Canal Street in Manhattan and buy me my first set of speakers, big, tall gem sounds, two
Wow.
15s in it, rack of horns, and some piezo, tweeters, man. And, went and brought me my Gemini mixer and some Gemini turntables, and that's when I knew, they believed in me. And that's when I started the office parties, and took it from there. And then I advanced my equipment and bought more equipment and up to date equipment at that time. Got the Techniques 1200s, where everybody started, was DJing on. So at that point, I was like, yes, I'm moving up. I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward. Yeah. And, with times, you got to stay with the times till now, music is so advanced. There's so many things that, a old school DJ don't have to do it. We don't have to take our records out, to do parties and clubs, or, weddings, or, special TV events, because now we can put everything in our laptop or on our, external. And that's what makes, music beautiful, because they're always, finding a way to make it better and easier.
So, what was your journey like through this DJing world? How was it growing for you, and how did you feel in each stage of your career?
Well, I got to say, when I started in 84, I didn't know that I was going to be where I was at in 2023. So each journey, each year, each 10 years of in the game was something different. It just moved further up the ladder. I just became better. I advanced. I started working with different artists. I started doing more events. So it really has progressed and became bigger than what I ever would imagine.
All right. So, can you give us a timeline on the people that you started working with? Because I saw on a interview that you had. I didn't want to read through it because I want to get surprised by all the stuff that you accomplished and did. But you met LL Cool J and a lot of other big time name music people in their career that just made you realize that you're in the big leagues now. You're
Yeah,
working with the stars and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. There was one time, there was a club called The World, and we were doing that club. It was with Big Daddy Kane, Biz Markie, Run DMC, Houdini, LL, a whole bunch of different artists. A whole bunch of different artists. Excuse me, in the business, and I was in the back of the club just looking, at everybody perform, and all of a sudden somebody bumped into me. You know what I mean? Said, "Yo, why you standing here looking so hard?" you know. And I looked and I said, "Oh, what up, L?" It was LL Cool J. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, he recognized me. You know what I'm saying?
that. Yeah.
But that's when I used to rock my jacket, my blue jacket that had my name on the back. I had to stamp my name everywhere I went. I wanted everybody to know who I was. You follow what I'm saying? So I always had some type of print, you know, on my shirt on what my name is, who I was, so nobody would forget who I was. So in this industry, I've met just about a lot of people, from the West Coast to the East Coast, from Dr. Dre to Phil Downing, R&B cat, to touring with Isley Brothers, the After Seven, and Heavy D, Public Enemy, just a lot of the greats that still stand now. I've did a lot of tours with them and talk with them and got a chance to meet different artists on the road through this journey.
Wow, that's so. When did you start realizing that these people were noticing you too? These people are starting to want to work with you, and you're now making music, collaborating, and just also rapping with some of these incredible artists.
Well, basically, I had just one little solo track on Lights album. That's it. I haven't had a chance to actually, do a rap, with other artists. I stay in my lane as far as DJing. Rapping was just a little something that I did, just to do it. You know what I mean? But my DJ lane and production that's where I'm supposed to be. You know what I mean?
All right. So when did you realize you also had like an interest for a hobby as rapping as well?
Well, look, I mean, everybody, feels like they can rap or want to try it. You know what I mean? So I tried it, and hey, it was cool. You know what I mean? A lot of people liked it. A lot of people asked, "Hey, are you gonna do a solo album or something like that?" I started to work on one actually, um, but I kind of pushed it to the side because other things had came up that were more important, and that's what I did. Just pushed it to the side.
I mean, maybe you might want to pick it up one day. You never
I
know.
don't know. I'm gonna pass that torch on to my son or something like that. You know, maybe I might revamp some of the stuff that I did and maybe have him do it. He's young enough. My days of that, nah, you know, yeah, it's better off to start off young to have a longer career. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But who knows? I might surprise you and do something.
You never
We'll
know. Maybe
see.
one day I'll be listening to some music and I'm like, wait a second, I know this guy.
That's right. That's right. That's right. But music industry has been it's been nice. But I can say about the music business, it has its ups and it has its downs. You definitely have to keep your craft, up to par, else you will get lost, because music change, sound change, rappers change, R&B, R&B will pretty much always remain the same, you know what I mean? Because everybody loves love songs and, dance songs and stuff like that. But in a whole, the music industry has changed. And right now it's open for something new to come through, you know what I mean? And to surprise people with something new. So be on the lookout for somebody changing the game.
Wow. And you say music has its ups and downs. And I'm gonna get back to how music changes and how things that when it picked up, but then one artist just blows it out the water and gets back up. Rapper's Delight is one that really influenced the whole rap around the world. But you said music had its up and downs, and what are some of the downs and ups that you experienced in this career?
Well, some of the ups and downs is, sometimes you might not go out on the road. You know what I mean? And some musicians, that's what they look for, is to do shows to make money. You know, Sometimes, if you're not relevant and you don't stay with the times and keep putting out new stuff, you can get a dry season. You know what I mean? And then with the pandemic that happened, nobody was working. You know, the whole music industry was shut down. So a lot of people lost a lot of money, lost a lot of houses, lost a lot of cars. So, at that point, if you wasn't streaming, and you didn't write your music, your songs, you still wasn't making money. A lot of artists that are out here they don't write their music. Someone else writes it. So they get the benefits of streaming, you know what I mean? And, every time it's being played somewhere, getting the royalties, and that artist that didn't write it, and if you don't have, their means of getting money is from a show, and if they're not doing shows, they're not making any money. So, this business has its ups and downs, like I said, and that's one of the ways of it having its up and down.
Did you have a way working when the pandemic hit? Did you have a way to?
Oh yeah. I work for the post office. I've been working for the post office for 30 years. So my job has never stopped. You know what I mean? So
I mean, people still got to get their mail.
that's right. It'll never
Yes.
stop. They'll never be able to stop that. So I was thank God for having that, job, and thank God, what I mean, for blessing me to keep going, what I mean, and able to get past this pandemic that, that we had, and still able to stay on top.
Yes. Wow. So, what inspired you to go and either continue working at the post office when your DJ career picked up, or what inspired you to start working at the
Well,
post office?
when you're not in the forefront, you know what I mean? And at that point, I was building a family, you know what I'm saying? And, I wasn't a main artist. You follow what I'm saying? And I wanted a family. So I had to make sure I manned up and took care of my family and provided for my family. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, music was kind of, rocky for me at that point. And I had to look for other means of income to take care of my household. You know what I mean? And that's what I had to do.
Although it's around 11 days too late, but happy Father's Day.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. We got about 12 more days to my birthday, July 11th. So, yeah, Cancer, July, baby.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
Happy early birthday.
Thank
You
you.
have any?
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
You have any plans already?
No plans. I might head out to the Essence Fest they got this weekend, you know, and just having a good weekend and a good month. I celebrate every day in the month of July. So, yeah.
Right. So, what have you learned most from working jobs like the post office?
Well, I mean, I'm a letter carrier, so therefore, I deal with the people every day, and I make sure they get their mail through rain, sleet, snow, blizzard, tornado, hailstorm, black ice, tropical storm. I've been through it all. So therefore, and we just have to do what we have to do, to accommodate and take care of the customers and get their mail or their packages or whatever they ordered to them.
All right. So it's kind of like an always a test of endurance.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I love dealing with people that are nice, and you know what I mean, and make sure that people get their mail on time. That's pretty much it.
So you work at the post office, you're DJ, and you're also a baker.
That's right.
How did you learn how did you learn that you had a skill to bake? Because DJing is pretty hard. I bet you have to work a lot to keep that in check, and post office as well. So how did you figure out that you knew how to bake and this was a talent for you as well?
Well, I've always, loved baking, since I was a kid, since I was about 7 years old. I used to
Wow.
bake donuts, you know what I mean, on the stove, So I'm a junk foods fanatic, you know what I mean. I love cakes, anything glazed donuts, I love it, So I used to, you know, wait for my mother to make cakes, back in the days. Um, just just love sweets. And then thank you, Angela. Angela loves gospel. Thank you very much on the birthday shout out. But as I got older, I would wait desperately, for my moms to make some cake, or and then when I moved closer to my aunt down south, I used to have her make me cakes, and she would take her time about making the cakes, And I was like, "Look, give me the recipe. I'll make my own cakes." And she gave me the recipe, and I said, "Let me start making my own cakes." And I started making the cakes, and I'm like, "Oh, this is pretty good. I'm doing a good job." Everybody else was saying I was doing a good job, and after that, I just started. I said, "Let me master this here." Because anything I do, I try to master and be the best at it. That's with the, DJing, that's with, post office, that's with the cakes, that's with anything I do. I'm going to try and master it and do the best that I can, in it.
Yeah.
And before you know it, I started making all different cakes, red velvet cakes, Italian creams, cookies, Rice Krispies, pound cakes, lemon, what's the green cake I make? Oh man, chocolate cakes. I just make all kinds of, cakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Around the holidays, I'm busy, making cakes and, um, just trying. I love seeing people happy. You know what I mean? So, that kind of makes them happy when they see me coming and bringing a cake. So yeah, it takes some work. It's also relaxing when I'm making cakes and baking. It's relaxing for me because I got a stressful job, stressful, situations, as far as traveling sometimes. So when I have an order that I have to make, it just kind of calms me down, put on some music, and just start baking.
All right. So as a DJ who is a music fanatic, you probably heard millions of songs. What is your favorite genre, and how does it make you feel when you put that on?
Well, as a DJ, um, I don't really have one particular genre. You know what I mean? I listen to everything, you know, because you never know what kind of party that, I might have to do. So I might listen to reggaeton. I might listen to, you know, um, Afro beats. I might listen to old school hip hop. It all
Like it
depends
all.
on what I'm in the mood for, to listen to. Slow jams. I love slow jams. Um, R&B, love it all. I listen to everything. I just don't have one that I just particularly listen to.
Now I have a question. As someone who I listen to a lot of types of music as well, is there some genres of music that you feel are just perfect for this specific thing that you're doing at the time? Like, I like reggae, but I feel like hip hop's good for letting me focus on this and such like that.
hmm Um, it all depends on what you feel, you know. It all depends on what you feel at the time you're putting on. I have crates of in my computer, in my phone. Um, my crates, go from slow jams to R&B, R&B 80s and 90s, old school hip hop, to new school hip hop, to reggae, to house music, to Afro beats, to pop. So for me as a DJ, I'm an all around DJ, you know what I mean? So I have to listen to everything to know what's hitting and what the people like to, listen to. So like I said, it all depends on what kind of mood that I'm in. I might like, tonight I gotta go and bake tonight. So I might go and play some Afro beats. You know what I mean? And I might listen to that for a few minutes, and then I might switch it to, some slow jams. Whatever the mood is, that's what I'll play.
As a DJ yourself, do you use Spotify to listen to music?
Um, I listen to some music on Spotify, but right now I'm mainly on Tidal right now
Oh,
because
you're
Tidal does more for me. You know, I'm able to when I'm at work, I'm able to build files in my Tidal, and when I come home and I want to get on the DJ, get on the turntables, I can pull up the files that I did for the day, and I can play it through my computer. iTunes doesn't allow you to do that, and Spotify doesn't allow you to do that.
I may have to look into that. I may have to
Yeah,
look into it because
yeah,
I'm trying. I'm also like starting to get into some high music streaming and stuff like that, and like audiophile stuff to listen to music more clearly. Because I've been
right,
hearing that there's just some things that you don't hear with like normal earbuds and stuff.
right, right, right. And you definitely have to have the ear for what you're looking for. You know what I mean?
Yes, I understand what you mean. But also I saw something a little bit ago, which was coming up of the BT Awards, 50 years of hip hop, and as one of the frontiers, one of the first starting pillars of doing this as a DJ, how do you feel seeing hip hop grow with all it's been through and all of its ups and downs and streaming and stuff like that?
Well, they said hip hop was never going to last. You know, um, but look at hip hop now.
Yeah.
We're taking over. You know, everybody wants hip hop in their songs. You know what I mean? So, you know, it goes to show you how hip hop hip hop has grown and how it's accepted in every household now. You know, but you do have your artists that make sense, and you do have artists that don't make sense. You know, so I always say, let's take old school hip hop versus new school hip hop. Who would win? Who would win?
What's your opinion on that?
There are some new school artists that are very lyrical, and I would say that's only 10%. The other 90% would get smashed by all the legends of hip hop. Yes.
Wow. Wow. So, who is your favorite old school hip hop artist, and who is your favorite new school hip hop artist?
Man, I love Buster. Um, Heavy D, I love. Um, the whole Wu Tang Clan. Um, J. Cole. I mean, there are really a, a lot of good lyrical MCs that are still out there, and some new, that are really saying something right now. The rest, The rest are just saying everything that everybody's been saying all through the hip hop years. How much money they have, and how many women and how many cars and big houses and jewelry. We heard all of that before, you know. So we need to get back to positive stuff in the hip hop world instead of trying to kill each other and trying to, you know, degrade each other through the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? We need to start working together and being more positive and
Yeah.
stop losing all these, these young brothers' lives over something silly. You know?
Yes, I understand, and I also understand what you're talking about. With there's like a, a small percentage of new hip hop artists that could keep up or even do something better that some of the old hip hop artists can't do. But then there's like 90% of them who are just like saying words just to say words.
Oh yeah, you already know. You already know, and those are called one-hit wonders. You know, and it's going to take a lot for them to really try and do something else new, unless they really change the game by being different.
So, how do you feel as one of the frontiers, the first starting people as a black people, especially as a DJ, to be working with all these big leagues? How do you feel seeing your process change through music and seeing how you reflect yourself differently from how you reflected yourself through the music when you first started to where you are now, and just seeing the whole music process change you and how you do your style?
Well, look, I feel good because the fact I know where it started from and I know how it's really supposed to be. And I know a lot of people, are trying to stay in this business and they're doing whatever they need to do to be creative, to make something new, do a creative hook to stay alive. You know, I've seen the good and I've seen the bad, you know, but that's music. Music, it comes and goes. You have people, like I said just a minute ago, that are one hit wonders, and you have some people that will stay in the game for longevity. So, you know, my advice to some people that are trying to get into the game, really figure out your lane and, and be ready to, change with the times. And if you're able to change with the times, you will be legendary. You will be, somebody relevant, in the game for a long period of time.
That's so. I want to get back to music and stuff later into the interview, but you're a postman, you're a baker, you are a DJ, and you also have a personal life too. So when you're not DJing, baking, and this, what do you normally do to relax and just have a
You
day?
know, funny thing you said that one of my friends was like, you never relax. You never just sit down and just chill and take a break. I just feel like, look, if you sit down and chill, you're not going to get anything accomplished or get anything done. I said, I find my peace. When I'm sleeping, I'm at rest. I'm sitting, I'm laying down, relaxing and resting. But when my eyes are open, I have to do something. My personal life, I love building. I love, adding on to my house. I love, just doing different things, working on cars. Um, I just put another motor in one of my trucks, So I gotta go buy a battery to see if this new motor starts. So my personal life, my whole life is it's a constant go. You know what I mean? You know, but one day I'll take a break. One day I'll take a vacation. But sometimes when I go out on the road, I look at that as a vacation. You know what I mean? Even though it's work, but I'm able to go to different states and different countries and see some things that I've never seen before. So I kind of say, okay, this is my vacation time. But my life is 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's nonstop. I'm always doing something. You know, I have a project going on in my backyard right now that I have to finish. And in this heat right now, it still can't stop me from doing what I need to do.
Yes, yes. So w- you brought up a lot of topics for
You're
me to
right.
talk about. So first off, you talked about dreams, or I mean, sleeping is a way to relax and stuff like that. But a lot of
Hmm.
people talk about some really cool dreams they had, in I guess, say when you're doing a lot of stuff. So have you ever experienced a dream that just you could always remember for a long time?
Well, I could probably say one of my dreams was to be in the music business, and I accomplished that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was able to, when I was DJing, I would always play everybody in the business, and I'm like, wow, I wonder what it'd be like on stage. I wonder what it'd be like meeting these different artists. And now I have that chance, and I've been meeting artists and performing on, some of the biggest stages in the world, and it's a job for me. You know what I mean? It's just a regular job for me, and you know, I just enjoy meeting some of the artists that I used to play when I DJ at some parties when I first started off. I got a chance to meet just about everyone. You know what I mean? And that right there, it was an accomplishment right there. To me.
All right. So also, you say you work on cars and you improve your house. So you said you just added a new motor to your truck and you're getting a battery for it. What's your favorite brand of car to mod and to do a lot of stuff too?
Well, I had a couple of cars. I've had old school cutlasses, 79 cutlasses that I fixed up, sold. I had hard body Nissans, fixed up, and low riders, convertible trucks. That's what I'm working on right now. I got an '84 Regal, on some rims and interiors, ostrich interior. I got a '72 Cadillac. I've had a whole lot of cars that I've turned around, fixed up, and flipped. But right now, I got an '84 Regal and a '72 Cadillac right now that I'm playing with right now, and the convertible Nissan.
Wow. Wow. So how does it feel when you transform all these cars into base models into something that fits you and your personality and stuff like that?
Hey, it's cool. Um, you get a chance to look at a car from when it was base to when now it's custom. You know, and you get a chance to ride around, and people say, "Oh, that's nice, man. That looks good. The paint job looks good." And then you take it out every now and then, to floss it around.
And that's, I mean, I can't wait till I get a car. I'm a bit young. I'm a bit young. And when I tried to do the VR car thing, I crashed like 10 times.
Wow.
But hey, you learn.
You got to start somewhere. Go get you
Yes, you
go
gotta.
go get you a golf cart and just drive that around. You know, and once you perfect that, and then you move up to trying to buy a car. Something small, and you drive that around, and once you know what you're doing, and you're alert, and you know how to use your mirrors, and you know how to do the speed limit, then you can graduate to something that you really really want. You know, take your time. Take your time.
All right, will do. And also, you talked about not just modding cars, you're modding your house as well with, I'm definitely sure a lot of speakers everywhere and a lot
Oh
of,
yeah, oh yeah. When I finish, there's going to be speakers in just about every room. But I'm adding on some additions in the backyard. Um, you know, fixing things that needed to be fixed. Running new drains. I'm like I said, they used to call me Bob the Builder because anytime my friends would call me, they'd be like, "Where you at?" I'd be like, "I'm in Home Depot." So every time they would call me, they're like, "Where you at? Home Depot again?" You know what I mean? So, I had to stay out of there for a while. But hey, when you're taught right at a young age on how to do things, especially around the house and cars and stuff, you're able to save money from the people that want to rip you off.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why it's very important to have your parents or your uncle, someone that's handy, that knows what they're doing, so that you can learn from them and know and grow up to be a strong man of knowledge
Yeah.
on knowing how to fix a sink, or lay carpet down or tile down, or fix a car or something like that.
Yeah. So
you
you
know
don't have
men are
some other guy
men
just.
are very yeah men are very, very important in kids' lives, young men's lives, and daughters' lives. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And
you
so you
know
just have like another guy coming in telling you a carpet that you could do for yourself, like for $500.
oh
Pretty
oh
hard,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I think you'd have to pay like at least 15,000 for this one, you know.
Nah, nah,
You
nah,
got
not,
yourself.
not here, not here,
Not here, not here.
not here. I will do it myself, trust me.
Yeah,
I've watched too many shows and had too many people teach me things.
yeah,
If I can't do it, I will bring someone in to do it. But 9 times out of 10, I can do
yes. All right, wow.
it. I can do it.
And also with modding your house, you're when if someone ever like comes in your house and is like never seen it before, they're just gonna be like, oh, where's the restroom? And they just go in and then they just start hearing music from behind them, and just turn around. There's speakers everywhere. It's just
Oh, it's going to be surround sound everywhere,
yeah,
because I'm just that type of person. I love music. I have to have music all around the house. So, yeah, they'll be fully entertained in wherever they go, in whichever part of my house.
wow. So let's get back to DJing and the music industry. Do you ever still learn some new stuff today with all your experience?
Oh yeah, you never can stop learning. Like I said, every year they're coming out with something new, or every couple of months, there's something new to in DJing. Um, they're always advancing or coming out with different sounds, or different ways of doing things when it comes down to DJing. You just have to stay connected. They have different seminars that happen throughout the years. Big seminars like the NAB seminar. They usually have, I think in LA or California, they have every year, and it tells you basically what new um, equipment is coming out the following year. You know, and I haven't been to one of the seminars yet, but everybody that goes, they come back and they tell me everything
And they're
that's
just like
coming out. So it's almost like I'm there.
it's like a kid in a candy shop.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. So again, when they come out with this new stuff, either you stay in your lane or stay what you're used to and you're accustomed to, or you grow with the times. Now, if you grow with the times, it can be very expensive. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you way to buy what they just came out with. But some people like to change, and like the new gadgets that come out every year. So you know it has its ups and downs. It has its good and bad. This stuff is getting expensive. So if you're a DJ and you're constantly buying what the new latest stuff that's coming out, you know you're staying with the times. You're making that money, to or something like that. So um, it's always interesting to see what they're going to come out with next every year.
Wow. So do you ever still get really amazed with some of the stuff that they come out with new DJ equipment, music equipment?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, because it's again, they make it better and better, for DJs, you know. But my motto for DJing is, if you never carried crates of records before, you're not a real DJ. You understand?
Yeah.
Because you know being that they're you know coming out with all this new equipment and new ways of DJing, you really what you call one of the new DJs. You know what I'm saying? You're not really one of the legendary DJs that took around 10 crates of records and knew how to switch it up. With the records. You had your house records in one crate. You had your slow jams in one crate. You had your old school hip hop in one crate. You had your reggae in another crate.
Yeah.
So, woo, those were the days. You know what I
Uh,
mean? But the new programs that they made were for the DJs to not have to carry all of those crates of records anymore. You know what I mean?
like you only have so much trunk space.
Exactly. So now that they made it so easy for DJs to DJ, everybody wants to be a DJ now. You
I
know?
saw some videos of some people just putting on the music and act like they're doing something when they're.
Oh yeah, a lot of DJs out there, they put on mixes of other DJs, and they stand behind the turntables and they act like they're doing something. Or you might have a DJ that just hits stop and play. You know, those are not real DJ. Real DJ, he cuts, he scratches, and most of all, he blends the music from transition to from one song to the next without skipping a beat. If you cannot do that, you're not a real DJ.
Wow, that takes a lot of timing.
Oh yeah, you got to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're doing.
So you never come in with pre-made things that you made yourself, or is it all just at the spot?
It's at the spot because you don't know what kind of crowds you're gonna have. You know, um, you can do a club spot, wedding or whatever. You never know what kind of people that you're gonna have in the house, so you have to be able to know how to accommodate, what the people want to hear. You know,
Wow, I
got that Rubik's cube. You know how to play that Rubik's cube.
I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn.
Yeah, my son can do that in 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So talking about your son, I almost completely forgot to ask this question. Does he seem like he wants to follow in the steps that you're taking with DJing and music industry?
Well, one of my sons is following my step in DJing. That's my oldest son, Marcel. So he's really good at it. My other son, KJ, he's doing he's on the music side as far as doing engineering production. So um, both of my sons, Marcel and KJ, they're doing pretty much what I'm doing, but one is DJing, the other one is doing music.
Wow. A good combination.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So also, I want to bring this up once. Did you hear that Sony? Did you used to have a Walkman back in the day?
Oh yeah, of course. Who didn't have a Walkman? You know, that's why I said, the tapes were, you pop them into your, Walkman and walk up and, go to school with, come home from school, go to the city, go on public transportation, and then they moved up to the CDs, Walkmans and all kinds of stuff, So yeah, I had it all, cassette tapes, double cassette tapes, 8-track reel to reels, yeah, yeah, I had it all.
Wow. Did you hear that Sony just released a new Walkman in 2023?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't surprise me because a lot of things is kind of revamping. Like a lot of people are starting to get back into records again. So a lot of record stores are popping up, selling all kinds of records. And, it doesn't surprise me that they're coming back out with a Walkman because um, it's probably one of those Walkmans that you can stream off of. You know what I
Yeah, it's
mean?
like a high res Walkman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I figured that because they're definitely not going to go back to tape. They're not even making tapes anymore, And soon, I don't even know if they're still making CDs. They're probably trying to, fade out CDs as well because streaming is definitely taking over.
Yeah. I tried. I was looking at some things for like a DVD player because I made I actually made my computer, so I was looking at things for my CD player, and I was like, why aren't they making any more? Like it's like all like on eBay
Time
and stuff.
time has shifted. Time has shifted. You know, you got to look at it like this here. You're too young to even remember Atari. You understand what I'm saying? That's when, Atari came out. Now look at it as it's PS5s or whatever it's up to now. You know, it's so advanced that when people look at Atari, it's like, I can't play on that. New people can't play on Atari. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it is. So that's how the times has shifted, and technology has shifted. You know, you go from Atari to PS5s or PS6, whatever's out. You go from Walkman to streaming. Now you go from rapping to AI. AI is rapping for you.
Yes. Did you hear that they on Spotify? This is actually why I asked this. They have an AI DJ that makes tracks of your favorite songs and stuff.
They even have AI lawyers. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. We are in the new
Didn't know
age of technology. My opinion, some of the technology is not going to be the greatest. You know what I mean? Because you cannot allow computers to think all the way for you and take over this world. You know, I mean, what's happening now. They've been conditioning us, all through the years of through movies like the Terminator and everything else. So, you know, that's a whole nother conversation that we're not gonna get into because we only got about 3 minutes left. So, yeah, you know, we are in the new age now of technology, and a lot of people are lost, and a lot of people don't want to switch over to this new technology, and don't want to learn the new technology that's out. So you gotta do something to stay with the times. Else, everybody's gonna be lost.
Yes, yes, yes. So, did you ever have a moment in your life where you didn't want to move with the times?
Oh yeah, sometimes I'd be like, man, I don't feel like buying nothing new. I don't feel like buying that new turntable or buying that new mixer. But you have to, because if you're dealing with Apple changes every year or every couple of months. Their operating system changes like every couple of months. So, it makes it obsolete to use your old stuff with your new computer or new operating system. So you have to stay in time if you're dealing with Apple, or you just don't upgrade and you stay right where you are.
So, what advice would you want to give to anyone that's wanting to be in the DJ industry or music industry?
Well, let's start off with the DJ industry. If you want to be a DJ, really study your craft. Really learn how to really DJ. Don't try to get out there and do all cutting and scratching. Learn how to mix, blend a song. And once you learn how to blend a song, you can actually try to learn how to scratch later on so it'll be on time with the music. And if you're trying to get in the music business, please read up on the music business, read on points, streaming, royalties, management, everybody's position. You need to read up on it and make sure because if not, they will, if people see that you're green, they will take advantage of you. And so many people are rushing to trying to get in the business that they don't take the time out to read and understand the business. And then before you know it, they don't have any money. Yep.
Yeah, no, but I also pulled up some pictures of you DJing you with Mick Light and doing. Oh, so this is wow. You first started off just at an office party for your dad, and now you're DJing with Mick Light. You met
MC
so many
Lights.
people. It's wow. That's incredible. Now you're Baker as well. You're uh, uh, you're at the post office. You're wow. That's
I'll just leave you with this. In this life that we live in, you have to have multiple sources of income. You understand? So um, just don't rely on one thing for an income. Do what makes you happy. Whatever your hobby is, do it. If you're good at it and you're able to make money out of it, do it. So you have more than you need, actually more than one income in this world. So try and be an all-around person, you know what I mean, and perfect whatever you're doing, and make it make yourself great.
all right. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing your story. And where can people follow you and find out more information
Oh,
about you?
you can follow me on Instagram, the real DJ K Rock. That's TheRealDJKROCK. Um, that's on Instagram. And also on Facebook, you can follow me on DJ K Rock. Um, or, my website, Rock Smooth Entertainment.
Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for
Yes, can
having
you
me,
stay
bro.
on the link while I do my outro?
Sure.
All right, thank you. And thank you to the wonderful audience out there in the audience. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the like button. It supports me, it helps me out a lot. And share it with your friends because I just really appreciate how far you guys have gotten us so far. And it's pretty cool. And also, some upcoming things are happening as well. If you saw last week, I was working with hosting, well, not hosting, but I was interviewing a lot of people from the This Is It 40th year anniversary, which is pretty cool. A lot of stuff will be out really soon. There's a documentary and everything. You guys got to see it. I'm not sure if there's a way to stream it, but if there is, I'll tell you guys. And it's pretty cool. It was really cool watching the whole journey and things like that. So there's going to be a lot of videos up on 2 and also on 10 somewhere. He gave us some pretty cool shades, and I really appreciate him. I really appreciate him so much. Also, there's a lot more information about that on my Facebook. Uh, and just, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for the support. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Peace.